Welcome back, everyone. 8:40 is the time on a Tuesday. Well, it's a film that defined many a childhood, and it's only grown more and more popular since its original 1982 release.
Well, now the fantasy classic, The Dark Crystal, is being celebrated in a new exhibit at Atlanta's Center for Puppetry Arts. And Good Day's Paul Milliken is live there this morning. You recently sat down with the son of this film's creator, and you're kind of our puppet on Good Day Atlanta, really.
Oh.
I am. I do whatever you tell me. You pull the string. So that way, if it's anything bad, I blame you.
There you go.
All right, send the hate mail to Buck Lanford. Yeah, I love this movie, The Dark Crystal. It came out when I was a kid. I was a Muppet kid for sure. I loved Kermit, Miss Piggy, loved the Muppets, loved Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock. So when The Dark Crystal came out, it was a very big deal in our household. But if you guys remember, when the movie came out, nobody really knew what to make of it. It was, as the title implies, a much darker film. It was a fantasy film, but over the years, it's become so popular. It's certainly one that I still watch and think of fondly, and I think many of you do as well, and that's why it's now being celebrated at the Center for Puppetry Arts. This is our friend Jill. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So I imagine you have fans that come through here all the time that really feel a connection to this film, because like I said, for people in my generation, this was the movie to go see in theaters.
Yes, and then also people saw it, you know, back in the 80s when you were bored, you turned on the TV, you just watched whatever you could find. You didn't necessarily, or you could go to the video store and rent something. So people saw things over and over and over again. So there's really this wonderful fan base that has come here and are really excited that we're celebrating this film and are really excited to see up close and personally these puppets that really meant so much to them when they were children.
And this movie was very different for Jim Henson and the team that he worked with. So what we're looking at now are really sort of the behind the scenes, the creation of these characters, right?
Right. So this was so different for the Henson team that they actually built a shop in London called the Creature Shop that they used to try these new techniques and build these new kinds of what they called creatures to put in this Dark Crystal film. And we have lots of prototypes and some costumes and some different things, so you can really see how the production came to be and all the design process that they went through.
Well, speaking of the design process and how it came to be, one of the people who worked on that film and was there when it was being made was Jim Henson's son, Brian Henson, who is now a film director. He was recently in town for Dragon Con, and we chatted about The Dark Crystal. I think I remember when the movie came out back in the early 80s, a lot of people didn't quite know what to make of it. It wasn't the Muppets, it wasn't Sesame Street, it was a little bit different. But over the years, it has gained such a loyal fan base. What do you remember about that movie coming out? Am I correct in remembering that some critics kind of thought, wait, what is this movie?
Oh yeah, no, it kind of even went further than that. So he did Dark Crystal, and everybody said, whoa, where's the light and funny and music and but it was something my dad really wanted to do, that deep fantasy world and the sort of deep mythology and all of that. But yes, it was received in an odd way. And originally in the movie, only the Gelflings spoke English. And yeah, and Aughra would speak English to them only because Aughra knows every language. And when he showed it to the studio the first time, they were just shocked. They were like, no, we have to be able to understand more of the characters. So he had to put more English in. Yeah, but it performed very well. It was a very unusual piece, but it developed a following pretty quickly. Then when he made Labyrinth a couple years later, he tried to add the music and add lightness, and that one actually got received really not well, and then became a bigger and bigger and bigger hit over the years. Both of them are extremely successful, but not so much from their initial theatrical release.
Yeah, a lot of people love The Dark Crystal and love this character here, but I've heard that this puppet really pushed the limits of what puppeteers can do. Jill, tell me about how they made this one work.
So this puppet has 4 arms, and it has this armature underneath it, and the puppeteers had to crouch down very low. And in the exhibit, we have Jim Henson talking about them puppeteering this and how he couldn't stay in that position for more than a few seconds, but the puppeteers were down in these crouched positions for 2 to 3 minutes at a time for a take. And when you come in, you can see it up close. You can really see that it's very low to the ground, and it definitely would be something that would be hard to puppeteer. And
that's teamwork, making that thing work right there. Jill, thank you very much. We'll see you again next hour. And coming up in the next hour, guys, this is big. So right now, Netflix is working on a prequel series to The Dark Crystal. It's going to come out next year, and we have exclusive scoop about the prequel. Nobody else has this coming up in the next hour, so stay tuned.
Ooh.
All right, much like that puppet there, sometimes you push my limits on Good Day Atlanta, Paul. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, World of Myth and Magic is included in the price of museum admission at the Center for Puppetry Arts. It's located at 1404 Spring Street Northwest in Midtown. The museum is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 to 5 on Saturdays, and noon to 5 on Sundays. $12.50 per person is the cost of admission. Stay with us. Good Day Atlanta.